everyone I know. Welcome to Everyone I Know, the podcast where we argue about the mundane. We're here again in the Troy Castle in the fucking sky.
We are in the sky, aren't we?
We're above the ground. We're above sea level. If the levee broke...
We're always above sea level.
No.
We live in New York State.
No. Ground is sea level because seas...
Upstate New York is well above sea level.
If the levee broke and Troy was suddenly flooded by Hudson River...
Gross.
Yeah, gross. If that happened, we'd be just fine. We keep podcasting through the storm.
Bringing this to you folks with the help
of our lovely producer, Brendan.
Hello.
And my brother, Chris.
What's going on, folks? Thanks for listening. If you're listening, this episode of Everyone I Know is brought to you by Audible.com. If you want a free audiobook and a trial membership to Audible.com, you go to audibletrial.com/EiK. I'm back on The Expanse, folks.
Back on my bullshit.
Expanse is great. It's a great show, great book series. You should go get a free book, listen to Leviathan Wakes. It's wonderful. Great sci-fi. Highly recommend it. But also, if you want to support us directly,
if you want to give us an actual dollar, instead of giving $1 to Jeff Bezos, and then maybe he might give us $1
later on, months and months later,
and we'll spend it on Taco Bell because we had a late recording.
Yep.
You can go to patreon.com/everyone I know. We got little gifts to give you. We got candles.
Yep.
We got statues.
Yep.
Nick Bukowski. Bukowski. Sorry, I gotta give you your damn candle because you're the one that's easiest to get to, and somehow
I see him every day of the week,
and I just can't give you the candle. You'll get it. I love you, baby.
We are joined today with a guest, as we are most times when we do Everyone I Know. And as an aside, last week was a little different episode. You should listen to that. It's called Everyone's a Critic. More to come. But we are joined with an old friend. We're joined with a second timer. We are joined with our buddy Tim.
How we doing, guys? Part 2.
Part 2 coming at you. If VLC player wants to play.
Andy, play the theme song thing. There. Oh. Everyone I Know. There we go. Tim. Hey, Tim. What's going on, dude? Tell us about yourself.
How's grad school?
Oh, it's awesome. It's kind of disassociating to hear your name that many different ways. Who am I? I'm going to grad school, studying to teach English as a second language.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm use it as a venue to, travel, see the world.
Hell yeah, dude.
Cool.
I just went to the country of Florida this week. It's a whole different place down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got an Outback Steakhouses. Did you know that?
Wow, I never imagined.
What's the big what's it called? Like grocery store down there. It's like
Wawa.
It's not Wawa.
Publix. They got a damn good key lime pie. I will give them that. Holy shit.
Publix key lime pie.
Yeah, Publix key lime pie.
This episode of Everyone I Know brought to you by
Publix. Also, Florida sucks.
Yeah, Florida's pretty shitty.
Some of the people there are nice.
Yeah.
But the state.
Yeah.
It's a dark place.
Yeah. It's boring. There's golf and cars and racing and Disneyland. Many things that I am not interested in. Thank you. This is the start of my TED Talk.
Yep. So if you've been listening for a while, you know that we do this thing called the Old Man Minute. Been kind of missing them a couple of times, but old man, today we got you.
We got you, baby.
We got you. Brendan's gonna read it. This is not for last week's episode; it's for the week before, because that was an EiK episode. Last week was an Everyone is a Critic, an EiK.
No,
please stop.
EiK.
Critic.
EiK.
We'll just call it Critic, baby, for
we'll
sure.
EiK. I like EiK.
Yeah, okay.
So this is for not last week, but the week before. Old Man Minute. Go, Brendan.
Greetings, EiK fellas. Well, the old man is back, and it's good to hear that Kyle has a similar spot on his podcast with his father. And do you want to know why? We've lived longer and experienced more than you guys. As Johnny Ringo said to Doc Holliday, okay, Lunger, let's do it. I think there might be a small typo there.
Yeah, let's probably.
Topic 111. Movies that you've never seen. You've seen lots of movies that you would not have seen if it weren't for me. The same goes for me.
Okay, I see what's going on
But
here.
when it comes to gangster movies, of which all I've seen, I can say that I can always say I didn't need to see a movie. I grew up in Utica.
Oh,
Topic.
Joey fucking spaghetti.
Connected.
Topic 2. Brands cracking wise on the internet. Instead of trying to get sponsors, go to their competitors and offer to start a smear campaign. Then play the sponsor against the competitor and sell your commercials to the highest bidder. Some may call this extortion, but I call it capitalism.
He really is from
Same
fucking
thing.
Utica.
Yeah, his roots really coming through.
Topic 3. Various poop crimes. In the unlikely event that I was a poopatrator, you'd be able to identify my scat as the one accompanied with a 1/4 pound of used baby wipes. Love, old man. P.S.
Gross.
Alex still lives.
Yeah, we got hairy butts in this family.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know.
Yeah. You gotta clean it up.
Sometimes you got to cut it down too, old man. I don't know if you're a man for the modern age, but you got to shave your grundle,
Manscaping.
man. It's not manscaped. You just got to shave the grundle.
Yep.
Say the words.
That's manscaping.
No, I want to be seen, Brendan. It's a different thing.
Manscaping.
You get a belt sander, you put it on a chair,
And you
just go to fucking town, bro.
like a fucking Sibian.
I don't like. You're 35.
Jesus.
You're not worried about the grundle hair, man. You're too deep in the game.
That's true.
You're not
That's
taking.
true.
You're not taking that down. That's somebody else's problem.
I've taken to doing like a 3-point stance in the shower.
Okay. And just Olivia comes in and just tackles you in the asshole.
Yeah, it's listen, I'm trying not to get duty on my hands while I shower, so I limit that by directly washing my ass with the shower stream. Is that what you wanted to hear today, Brendan?
That's why I have you to my house.
Get
Like a bidet. You, like,
bidet.
pull it off.
I got 2 announcements because you guys are fucking amateurs. One, everyone's a critic we did last week.
I talked about it multiple times.
Not really, because you didn't talk about the big thing, which is that we
we
are going to do lots more of them, hopefully.
Yes.
And we
it's
need
going to
people
become
to
a mainstay of the
and
podcast.
we need people to submit ideas for
Yes,
things
please.
for us to criticize.
Yes, and we've gotten a couple. We need more.
We got next week, folks. But we can't do this on our own.
Yeah, exactly.
We need you.
Harass us. Tell
Yes.
us what to review. But not belt sanding our assholes. That I'm not going to review.
0 stars.
And I would
Yeah.
do anything for
money.
clicks, but I won't
Belt
do
sand my
that.
asshole.
But I won't belt sand.
my
Yeah,
cord.
just so for everyone's edification, because I know that we are fairly mysterious. You know, we keep a lot of secrets here at EiK, but basically we're fracturing. We've become 3 separate episode types. We've got Everyone I Know, which is the one you know.
You know and you love. You listening to right now. Tim's here to
Tim, famous guest.
You know it.
Did sell your soul to Satan, actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
You made plans.
Yeah,
You guys got
souls
lunch.
were traded hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got Everyone's a Critic, which is led by Chris.
EiK.
And it's basically a media and other thing review. We'll review anything. We'll review your dog, tell your dog's ugly. And then we've got Everyone I Crit, which is D&D, led by Brendan, our fearless dungeon master and most handsome boy.
Best hair in the cast.
Best hair in the cast. And
Low
that's fuck. Well, okay. And that's D&D and and fantasy and role play.
Yep. And that.
Yeah, and those episodes will be released separately from the normally scheduled podcast.
Yep.
But everyone's a critic, and
It's basically
everyone I
gonna-
know will be on the same schedule.
Yep. Ping
I don't
pong.
know if we're going to 100% alternate them, or if it might be like 3 of one of the other.
It's probably gonna be something
sometimes
like
2
that.
of one, 2 of the other. But every week you will get one or the other of those, generally
Yes.
speaking.
Yeah.
And then once or twice a month going forward,
Hopefully
you
twice
should
a
also
month.
hopefully twice a month you should get basically every month there should be like a part 1 and a part 2 of an Everyone I Crit with one guest per like pair of episodes.
Yep.
So we're going to be recording that one this week, and then
That'll be
should
out on
have that
Friday.
one. Yeah, should have that one available very quickly after. Very excited about it.
I'm excited. I've been telling
excited.
Brendan I'm excited every time I've seen him.
That's accurate. He has.
A lot of episodes.
And everybody I know that I have forced to listen to.
You mean
this
everyone I know?
podcast, yes,
Rate,
everyone
review,
I know,
subscribe.
who plays D&D was very excited about it, and I got a whole list of guests. Adding all the time. Added another name like half an hour ago.
I'm into this.
And
this is happening.
So we got plenty of people that are going to come on and do it. We're really excited about it. But that will not interrupt your regularly scheduled Everyone Does Whatever programming.
Yep.
Because
Everyone does whatever.
we know that Everyone I Crit is a little niche.
It's for nerds.
Oh, by the way, before we jump into it, Mike, Lauren's Mike, Julie's sister's now husband, left us a very nice message about the first episode of Everyone is a Critic. He said it was very insightful.
I thought
and he liked it a whole bunch.
I thought
What did you guys review?
True Detective season 3.
season 3. Get that Mahershala.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought that we thought about stuff and we had analysis, and you guys knew more about it than I did. I've realized that I don't have a critical eye, and I'm glad that you guys are smart in the brain while I'm dumb and I watch TV.
You went to school for biology.
Yeah, I can tell
I
you
went
about
to school for the movies.
Exactly.
Brendan went to school for the history.
That's why Brendan does D&D and I do goof and talk show, I guess, is what everyone I know
It's
is.
like really inverted, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Without further ado,
let's jump into it.
moving on now to topic number 1. That's you, baby boy.
Okay, so I'm topic 1 today, folks. How we doing? How we living? How are things out there right now? I don't know this voice that I'm doing right now, but we're doing it.
Are you excited?
Are you excited? Because I'm excited.
Go, what can I do to get you in a new topic tonight?
I want to see you guys all floss. Did you guys see that?
Do the floss dance?
Well, the dude from Fortnite guy, Ninja,
Yeah.
trying to get people to floss during the what's it called? New Year's party in Times Square. And he just stood up there. He's like, "Yeah, I want to see everybody flossing." He's like, "I don't see any movement," and they just gave up. It's wonderful.
Ninja's a huge racist, so
Is he?
Yeah, he sucks. He's canceled.
I don't know if he's actually a racist,
Wait. He wanted them to flossing. Is that a dance
but yeah,
move?
the dance move, the floss move.
I didn't know this one. I'm not up on the floss.
That's it's the one that all the young kids can do, like that like behind the back, biggity bop.
Like you're drying yourself off with a towel.
Yeah, that
essentially.
one.
All right. Okay. I'm glad nobody did it. Doesn't sound like he deserved that.
A lot of people do it.
A lot of people do it?
Yeah.
I saw a family Irish band, Celtic band, at Disney something that we went to briefly, and they were doing Irish dancing, and then the little kid got in front, and people were doing the river dance behind him, and then he was flossing. It was
That's a traditional Irish jig, man. Mm-hmm. The flousing.
they're flossing.
The flousing. Speaking of St. Patrick's Day, this topic has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day.
Very cool.
But no, what I want to talk about, something loose, something area, something I think we could talk about a lot. I want to talk about adaptations. I want to talk about reboots. I want to talk about remakes.
Nice.
Kind of in the eye of what's going on right now with what is it? Fucking
Marvel Cinematic
Well, yeah,
Universe.
with Marvel, but more Suicide Squad, where James Gunn is rebooting
Reboot, yeah, that's right.
Suicide Squad after not
Guys,
even
it'll
a
be good
fucking.
this time, I promise.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I promise. We're
Dude,
gonna
just
get the guys from the trailer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
They fucking and they brought him back on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, they
dude.
fucking did.
Yeah,
And
because
as
it
they
was
fucking should have.
because
So
it-
ultimately, what happened is he got a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Out
He
of
got
the
a
whole
movie
thing.
out of this.
Yeah.
yeah. He got to remake Suicide Squad
Yeah.
after a year.
he got a bunch of people to defend him because it was an obvious bad faith argument, and
Yeah,
then
it was. Oh,
How
God.
long do you think it's going to take DC to just say, like,
Fuck
maybe
it.
stop and just do what Marvel did that worked instead of trying
Like
to rush everything?
take their fucking time as opposed to jump in the deep end and drown every single fucking time.
Zack
Just
Snyder.
rush it.
Jesus Christ.
I can't. Yeah.
So that's not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about DC. We're not talking about their missteps because there's many of them.
Please don't ask us to review a Zack Snyder movie. then.
Yeah, but I think it's the problem with DC is fundamental to the problem with those expanded universes.
Yeah.
It's because you have to tell such weak stories to be able to tie them together like that, unless
Yeah.
you really have the time to set the ground roots. Like, think about how long it take for Iron Man 2, and like all that. They like, I don't know.
They took their time with it.
Took
they
their time.
They
The first
developed the narrative
crossover was
around it.
like, what, the fifth movie?
yeah.
Well, the first crossover really was the end title scene for
Yeah, but those
for
are just
Iron
like
Man.
end titles. The first real
Yeah.
crossover was
Avengers.
Avengers.
Yeah.
And that was like, you had Hulk, you had Iron Man,
Yeah.
you had
Scarlet
Iron Man
Witch.
2. You had never had a movie.
Oh, I thought you were naming Avengers.
Wasn't in there.
I was just in. I was
wasn't
just
in there
naming
for
them.
like a whole another 5 years.
You got Hawkeye. You
Nope,
got
nope. You
Jim
didn't have
Jam.
those.
You got
You had Thor, and you had Captain
Ragnarok.
America.
yeah.
And that was all of them, right? But
Right for
Loki-
the first
and
generation
Loki.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was those 5 movies before we ever even. It was the 6th movie was the first crossover.
Yeah.
DC's like first one.
Yeah.
That'd be a crossover.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
DC.
just shoot
It's
your load right away. You don't know a build up. What's the point? You know.
Well, it's not DC. It's Warner Brothers saying money. Look at all the money they're
Look
making.
at that money. I would like some
I would
money.
like some
But
money.
I want money right now.
Yeah,
Can I just have it right now?
Now, what's funny too about Suicide Squad is that it actually made a shit ton of money.
Did it?
Yeah, it was commercially successful, but they're going to reboot it, which is just so hilarious, but also speaks to kind of the greater way that movies and television are right now, where everything's a fucking reboot.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think this was actually one of our first
Was it really?
topics on the secret episodes, or maybe even on Charlie on the number 1 episode with Charlie. We talked about reboots a little bit, but we were talking about nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia was a big thing. I
I've
remember
got
we
no
talked about
problem
that.
with reboots. I'm 100%
I,
defensive of reboots.
depends on how
I
they're.
don't know, man.
So there's a difference between rebooting something, making it your own, and changing it, and making it wholly something different. Kind of like what is it? Evil Dead.
Okay,
Which-
Like
the
Gus
new
Van Sant Psycho?
the new Evil Dead.
Fuck that movie. But like the new Evil Dead was pretty well done because they didn't try to remake the whoever the director's name is. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But they didn't try
Sam
to remake. Is that Sam Raimi?
Yeah,
Yeah, Evil Dead is Sam Raimi.
yeah.
That's where he came from, is Evil
Yeah.
Dead.
Well, I didn't think he. Okay, I thought he had a different name. But like they made it their own. They made it into like a straight up slasher flick, as opposed to trying to recapture the goofiness and the absurdity. But there still was some absurdity in there.
Yeah.
What's like some of your favorite reboots? Like something you could say like that's they took that and they made that into a good one. I think Evil Dead's a good one. Mm-hmm. Dawn of the Dead,
Dawn of the Dead's good.
I think was a very good
Oh,
one.
the Nolan Batmans.
Oh yeah.
I think that's probably one of the best examples of taking it and making it into a brand new franchise.
So I remember the Tim Burton Batman. I had it on VHS where what's his face was the Joker, the first Batman movie made by Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson was a Joker. It was sick and he was scary, but it was like kind of goofy.
yeah.
And that was before I ever read any comics. And then later on, I got into it. I was like, this is kind of like a weird. It doesn't really represent how like Batman is in the comics to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the Nolan is like, if you've ever read Dark Knight or anything, it has
Dark
like
Knight's
such a
so
similar vibe.
Yeah.
So I think that reboot was actually. I mean, but there's still those are all technically iterations of comic books,
Comic
right?
books.
So like it runs deep.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
that
nothing new under the sun.
if you stick to the source material, you can't go wrong, but you have to actually like it. I think that some people are like who was the guy who was doing Superman? He's like, listen, he's never gonna fly.
Oh,
I don't want to
yeah.
see him in the uniform. It
Yeah,
was the
I
guy
wanna see
that
the
made
fucking
Wild
cape.
Wild West.
Yeah, and there's got to be a dance number in it.
Yeah,
or
there's
some
gonna
shit
be a
like
dance
that.
number.
The newer Spider-Man is much better.
Oh yeah, no, Spider-Man: Homecoming was
Homecoming-
fucking amazing. That was a very
It
good
was
movie.
very dope.
It was a very good movie. So was fucking Enter the Spider-Verse.
Enter the Spider-Verse.
Best movie of last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
those are less
Jumanji.
Which I haven't
Did you
seen.
see the new
The new
Jumanji?
Jumanji is
Is
so
it
good.
Is it good?
Is it good?
It's like a shocking. It was like free on Prime, and we were like, oh,
We're not going to judge you
I
if
heard
you
this
went
is
to
kind
the
of funny,
theater on
and
opening
it was
day.
so good.
Yeah.
It was the most shockingly good movie.
So that's
I like Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
I think everybody
Who
does.
doesn't?
Yeah.
So that's the thing though. Like, what constitutes a remake? What constitutes an adaptation? Because I feel like the Nolans and like the new Spider-Man, those are more adaptations of
an existing property.
lore
Yeah,
or
yeah.
existing property. Whereas like Jumanji, that's a straight up remake. They redid it.
Yes.
I mean, it is a bit different than the original. I mean, it's conceptually it's about people getting sucked into a Jumanji board game, but it's not like really similar in any other way whatsoever.
They did video games in that one, didn't they?
Yeah, Jumanji's
Yeah,
a video
yeah.
game, and it's great. It's like such a ridiculously. It shouldn't be as good as it is.
Yeah.
It's almost offensive how good it is.
So I think a reboot has to be in the same media format, right?
Okay.
Because if
So
it's
saying
an
movie,
adaptation,
movie
if
to
it's- if
movie,
it's
not
switching.
yeah. I got you.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing is like I get the distinction, but I'm not sure. I think it's almost a distinction without a difference in some ways. Like if I'm going to make a Spider-Man
yeah,
movie
but
based on 50 years of Spider-Man comic books,
If I look at the Nolan Batmans versus the Tim Burton Batmans, those are different. Those are different IPs almost.
but is it fair to call the Dark Knight a reboot or like a remake of something that was an adaptation of something that had been around for decades?
I think
before
if
that?
you're going from comic book to
Wait,
something else,
so-
it's
so-
never
Well-
truly a reboot.
like to Tim's point before, when like the Nolan Batmans are an adaptation of the Dark Knight, as opposed to like Burton was just like, okay, I'm going to make this.
I'm making Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't call the Dark Knight trilogy a reboot. I think that's just an adaptation of the comic book. Yeah.
Let's stop gushing. What's some bad ones?
Watchmen. I mean, it's an adaptation.
I don't know,
but
man.
it's terrible.
No,
Hold on a
Watchmen is
second.
all right.
Garbage.
All right.
Okay,
You just
let's
hate fucking Zack Snyder, bro.
right,
You just hate Zack Snyder.
Watchmen is fucking horrible.
I don't
That's
know,
not that
man.
bad.
Listen,
It's not that bad.
All right, he came fire out of that fucking owlmobile. Okay,
Yeah, he
and that
did.
happens in the comic books.
Yeah, they really committed to that.
Yeah.
But I know this might be controversial, but I think the way that they wrapped up the ending of
I
the movie
feel the
made more
same
sense than the
way.
Yes,
comic
I
book.
feel
because
the
it
same-
did.
Alien
It's the only thing about the movie that is like that's the only
yeah,
logical
but
way
a
to do
story
it.
with a bad ending is a
That's
weaker
fine.
story.
Yeah, but
I mean,
the story in the comic book works for the comic book.
yeah, but
So
it's
we
an
gotta get
adaptation.
some
It's a different
knives,
medium.
yo.
Yeah, guys.
You couldn't say the same story. Imagine. So, did you see Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
All right. Well,
I heard there's a
I'll-
woman in
no,
it, so
won't
I
go
can't.
into it.
I can't watch it.
Yeah.
It's
They're
excellent.
taking
It's
away
good.
our
I
childhood
sure
or something.
recommend it.
Is that what women do?
It's not the best.
It's
Marvel
not like
movie,
the
but it's good.
Ghostbusters women where it's like, oh, a shittier version of this movie, but everyone's a woman, so like that's all we really got going for us.
That was
Yeah.
just a bad movie.
Yeah,
It was a
flawed.
cash in. That was a bad reboot.
Yeah.
That was a bad reboot.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. Well,
But
they're
not
making
for the
Ghostbusters.
reason
They are making
people
Ghostbusters 3
bitched
now.
about.
What'd you say?
They are doing Ghostbusters 3 now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for realsies this time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, here's the thing about Watchmen. While the change to the ending is perfectly fine, I don't have any problem with the change.
I
to
think the
ending.
change makes sense.
If
where
you're
the
gonna
comic
move
book
from
did not.
The comic book is too long. You can't include everything from the comic book. You would have to include the whole plot thread that leads up to that ending, and it wouldn't have made a lot of sense in a movie.
Yeah.
This wraps it up in a much smarter way for the format of a movie.
Yeah.
So like the comic book the way it is, like the movie the way it is when it comes to the ending. But the movie's hot garbage.
Well, you just
I
don't like
thought
the
it was-
acting. What's your
so there's,
Tim's getting pissed over
dude?
it.
I don't love the movie.
there's
I don't,
nothing super wrong with the acting.
I just like the ending. I'm
casting
just
is
impressed.
phenomenal.
I thought the casting was
Yeah.
great.
The intro sequence is great.
Sounds like you like this movie.
Yeah,
What
it seems like
here's
you
what I don't
enjoyed
like.
the movie.
I like the beginning, the middle, and the end.
but
As a huge,
Let it be
well,
known.
I'm just establishing that this is not irrational hatred.
Okay.
There are things
Okay.
I like about it. The intro sequence is amazing. The Watchmen, which I'm a huge fan of the book. Watchmen is a deconstruction of the genre. It's a complete deconstruction of the superhero genre. The whole point of the
Yeah.
comic book is if this happened in real life, here's what it would look like, and here's why it would be fucked up.
Okay.
And to make a hyper stylized movie defeats the purpose of doing a deconstruction because
So
it's
you're
no
saying-
longer realistic.
Okay.
So you're saying that you would like to see
you
every
want gritty. You want the HBO miniseries.
kind of like
Well,
every.
that's not actually going to be the story of the comic. I don't know what they're doing with that. I'll watch it, but
Yeah.
You're asking for like everyday Joe's in New Dunk City, and then Mario comes in, and he's like I'm a Watchman, and then that is what sticks out like a masked man walking around shooting people is
well, like
weird.
if you read Watchmen, just look at the way the artwork is presented. You don't have like over the top action sequences really in the book. The only time you see anything that's really over the top is Dr. Manhattan, which is
Right.
the purpose of
Right.
the character. The whole point of the character is in real
I
life,
see.
if you were like a god amongst men, you would become detached and not really know how to relate to people
Right.
anymore. And it's something that the Superman comics, as far as I know, never really got into the way the Watchmen comics did. I mean, there's a saying that goes around of there hasn't been anything to say with superheroes since Watchmen because
Yes.
it just said the last thing that needed to be said.
But I
But
haven't read Spawn then, I guess.
the fucking Spawn. But
fucking
the
great.
thing is, if you're going to have this deconstruction of the genre, and the whole point is to look at that, and then you just hyper stylize the whole thing, you undermine the whole purpose a little bit, and then the like one of the main things in the comic book that differentiates Rorschach from all the other characters is that he kills people, and
Right.
the other characters don't kill people. But then the movie, Silk Spectre and Night Owl just straight up like murder a bunch of dudes
No,
in
they
an
didn't kill
alleyway.
anybody. They just beat him up with
Dude,
the
they,
fist.
like
They
rip them,
beat him up with the
literally
fists.
rip them to pieces, which
No.
completely gets
They-
rid
they-
of
they-
the
they-
dividing.
They've got
they-
great health care.
Yeah,
so
so
you'd
your
still
problem-
be fine.
It doesn't maintain fidelity to the thematic core of the book.
I think
That's
and that's what makes the book good. It's similar to like what the reason I don't like I really don't like Nicholson's Joker. Because Jack Nicholson's like fun as the Joker, but he doesn't really embody the things that make the Joker a good villain. Heath Ledger embraces what makes the Joker a good villain in the comic books.
Well, I get these chairs.
And so it's fun, like, to watch Jack Nicholson like goof around and shit. Like, sure, but it
Time
really
to pay
undermines the whole thing.
what's the line? Time to pay the
Toll troll.
to get into this boy's hole. So what about like other adaptations? You know, like
Like the movie adaptation starring Nicolas Cage.
which I've never seen actually.
Actually, great movie.
I've heard it's very good.
They do drugs.
Do they?
They do a drug, yeah.
And another thing about
fictional,
Watchmen.
fictional drug.
So like, what about like taking a beloved film and putting it on the stage, the theater?
You mean
The Broadway.
Spider-Man Death Spectacular? Spider-Man the Widowmaker?
Yeah. Watch a 19-year-old break his neck.
For the low price.
You know,
probably a couple $100.
It would have been fucked up
And
if they
they're
discovered that one of the actors actually was Spider-Man because he fell from the fucking swing and then he's
fucking
like,
landed,
Yeah.
and then he just had to run away.
and they had to run away, yeah, in his undos.
Finally felt like myself.
Well, I was thinking more Spamalot.
Spamalot was trash, garbage.
Yep. Don't say that around a lot of people.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, and this actually goes into a conversation we were having on the drive up about Bohemian Rhapsody.
That movie sucks.
That movie
Man,
sucks
that
in every
movie-
single way.
No.
bad.
It sucks. It sucks in its social values, and it sucks in its acting, and it sucks in
Editing,
its
dude.
editing, and it sucks in its lip syncing
just-
ability by Rami
I was
Malek.
going crazy because I was like, he looks awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He has too much makeup on.
he's got too many teeth in his fucking mouth.
I don't know what is going on.
400 teeth in his
He's
mouth.
got these weird wrinkles around his eyes.
Yeah.
like it was just the weirdest
Creep me
shit.
out. Yeah.
Wasn't a good movie.
The issue that I think what people
America disagrees, but
well, America is trying to apologize for some things in the wrong way. That's why Green Book fucking won and not Black Klansman. But here's what I have to say about that. I think that some people, when they have a property that comes out that they enjoy, such as Queen, such as what was the one that that I spun off from?
Spamalot.
Spamalot, such as Monty Python, beloved series that were great in
Yep.
their original form.
Yep.
But they're
Well,
but then the
only-
spin-off comes out that is
The
the
only
only
thing-
property that they had. Wait, hold on.
The Avatar movie.
Right. Well, the Avatar movie was its own thing, right? It was there's not a spin-off.
Well,
I
you've
mean,
seen
Dances with Wolves. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is
Oh, I see
these
what
are
you're
people trying to say like, I like this original property and this is the only option I have out for me right now. I gotta love it.
So to
Oh
be
wait, I'm sorry. I meant Avatar Aang, not Avatar.
Oh,
dude, I was
Last Airbender.
yeah.
That movie, I didn't even fucking watch it, dude.
All
The,
right.
the anime was so much better.
well, how would you know? You haven't watched the movie.
I don't have to. And I don't have to watch The Godfather because I saw Goodfellas.
Come on,
Don't
it's M. Night Shyamalan, man.
Shamalama
Shamalama
ding
ding
dong. Hey.
So the only thing I will say about in defense of Spamalot and that adaptation of Monty Python is they did a lot of like live theater stuff.
Yes,
Like,
I agree.
towards the end of like Flying Circus and stuff, they were doing like tours where they're doing it. And
yeah, the
first,
meaning of live and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
and the first iteration of Spamalot was the original actors, so John Cleese
Right,
and all of them,
right.
like acting it. But then because it was popular, it got spun out into whatever it is now, where you can go see it in like freaking Washington Park.
They usually Blue Man Group opens up for them.
Yep.
And then Stomp closes, and it fucking
You're
tears the
seeing
house
an
down.
impersonation of
Yes.
them
Yes.
doing it.
And that's one of the most disingenuous things about a lot of adaptations is one thing that gets me upset is when I see something that's been adapted or rebooted when the original actor or performance was so amazing.
Yes.
You have somebody like just trying to act that out. Not so like as an example, not a direct reboot, but kind of sequel prequel can kind of be in the same type of vein. What's it called? The Solo movie.
Yes.
Like it's him
I didn't
pretending to
see
be
that.
fucking Harrison Ford. Like, come on.
Why?
man.
Here's my question to Hollywood, if you're listening.
Listening?
Why do it?
Money.
Money. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then that makes perfect sense. Then what am I
Yeah.
talking about? I love money.
Here's the thing. I think that originality is very overrated. And most of the history of the art of storytelling
I
has been telling the same
disagree.
stories over and over again in
mean,
your
that-
own way.
Yeah,
That
that's
is-
originality, though.
That's not originality.
Yes,
Well,
it is.
It's if I go remake Nightmare on Elm Street, but just change a couple of things about it, you're going to call it a reboot.
Yeah.
You're not going to, and you're going to say that's unoriginal.
But I'm not saying that every reboot or adaptation or whatever is unoriginal. It can be done very well. but can also be done extremely poorly.
Yeah, but so can originals.
Yeah. But
I mean,
but
most
to say
original
that,
stuff sucks too.
but to say that everything's a
good point.
reboot is throwing out originality entirely.
I'm
that's
saying
that's
that
a
originality is
misnomer.
overrated. I don't think
think
like
it's overrated.
I don't think that a lot of the great movies of the last 20 years have been terribly original. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that's been phenomenal, like Adaptation and everything that he's done. But
Watch Blind Spotting. I watched that recently. It's good.
But by and large, telling the same stories over and over again, and I don't think forcing people to try to make things original necessarily makes things better.
That's not my point. But make it your own. Don't do the Quentin Tarantino, which is make it your own by adding swearing and saying the N-word a couple of times
and putting yourself in it.
Yeah, I want to see his dick fall off again.
When does his dick fall off?
Grindhouse.
Yeah, it just turns into goop. It doesn't fall off.
It falls off. You see a distinct plop.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can tell it's Quentin
Now I
Tarantino's
kinda
dick
wanna
because
see it.
I know exactly how big that is, which is about one plop's worth.
And you can tell
plop.
it's been rubbed on feet recently.
Yeah.
So like Grindhouse, I think that is a great adaptation of that genre of film, and
Yes.
and that weird niche genre that they were trying to go for. I think it did very well and made
Yes.
it,
More
and
of
made
like an
it their own.
homage, you know? Yeah.
So making an homage, don't just like do a shot for shot reboot.
I think this is a good way to sum it up. Let's say the Marvel movies, as they've gone on for this long now, let's say in 3 years, they're like, all right, we're rebooting
Everything.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're going to start over again because now we own X-Men, and we're going to get rid of that too. We're going to start all over fresh.
Happens in
slate.
comics all the time.
We're gonna have the X-Men in here. We're gonna have all the characters we had before. We're gonna have new actors, new stories.
We're going to do it right this time.
How would you feel about that?
If it was done correctly and it was not just rehashing the same like tropes with the same beats and all that stuff, and there was something new about it, then that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because that's kind of the interesting thing about the Marvel movies. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is it was made out of shit. We fucked up and sold off the rights to everything.
Yeah.
Who do we still own? Oh, all
Let's
these weird
recreate
B-list
these
characters.
guys.
Well, they happen to be the Avengers.
Avengers,
Well,
yeah.
we'll just make like none of those. All those characters were B-list
Yeah.
before this. Like, or C-list. People didn't think of Iron Man as like the tentpole, or Thor as like the tentpole Marvel superhero. It was X-Men and Fantastic Four. A couple of shitty Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, yeah.
That they just can't seem to get right.
Talk about
Real
reboots.
bad.
Yeah, and they don't own X-Men. And you end up, and they didn't have Spider-Man.
Yep.
And so you end up with, all right, we'll take the B-list ones and we'll make better movies than the guys that own our A-list ones.
Here's what I think. If they were to reboot the Marvel movies in, like, let's say 30 years, I'd be an angry old man, so I'll be mad anyway.
That's true.
So
That's very true.
Might
You're
be
destroying-
Doesn't matter.
You're destroying my childhood.
You're destroying my childhood.
I can't wait to hate it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Reboots summed up. I can't wait to hate
I'm gonna
it.
give 400 reviews of this.
Yeah.
But if
on
anybody
Trustpilot.
reboots Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I will fucking freak out.
In a good way.
No, in a bad way. Please
They
don't.
did.
It's
Twilight.
already been, well, not a reboot. It's already an adaptation, right? Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No, well, it was made by the guy that made the movie.
I mean, I guess that can.
And
It's not a
It's
continuation
a
of the
sequel.
same story,
And it was
though, right?
it kind of is. While the specific events of the movie are not canonical, it starts after she's already like found out who she is and she knows she's a superhero and stuff like that. And it kind of like assumes she lived in that area and did some stuff and then came to the TV show. The TV show like picks up after that stuff.
But it's
similar
not,
to the way the new
this-
Spider-Man.
Nobody
kinda picked up
remembers that
after
she
the-
murdered all the vampires, like because in that movie, like there's like the school dance or whatever scene.
Yeah, and all
There's,
that
like,
stuff is kind of like vaguely supposed to have happened. I think she just didn't bang Luke Perry. It's like the
That's it, dude. Adaptation. You take that out.
yeah, you take that out. It's not the same thing anymore. R.I.P. Luke Perry.
Yeah.
But they are talking about like bringing back Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but then people like freaked out, and then they were like, no, we want to tell a story of like a different Slayer, like in the same universe.
Duffy,
Like,
the
that's what-
vampire.
Glayer.
Grayer.
Chris, I have a quick question before
up?
we wrap this shit up. What do you think about the Sopranos prequel?
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, they're doing a Sopranos prequel.
Why?
They're using Gandolfini's son.
What?
Because that's, I mean, you know,
Okay, so that's a good example of like that. That would be
it's a whole new thing.
like that's new, but at the same time, if it's just his son trying to be his dad, that's kind of sweet, though. I don't know.
I don't think it's about him.
More to come.
Yeah,
I don't think it's about him. It's just he's in it.
Oh, okay.
It's about the generation.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't.
before.
It probably wouldn't make sense for him to be a super prominent character because he's probably a nobody at that point or something.
Yeah, I defend the Sopranos ending. I don't care.
I'm interested in the Game of Thrones prequel trilogy series.
Not.
No?
The way the writing is
shitty on
the way the writing's
writing's
been
falling
going
apart,
the last
dude.
couple seasons.
Good point,
I don't
no
even
doubt.
know what this is going to look
Now
like.
it's a dragon over here. Now it's a dragon over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Dragons up.
How big is
Dragons
Westeros
down.
supposed to be? The size of Africa. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So you drove across it on a dragon.
Yeah.
In an hour.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's not that great anymore.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're moving on now to topic number 2. Very nice. Brendan did a nice hand gesture.
I saw that.
It was cool. I felt like he was conducting me.
Yeah.
All right, it's you.
Tim.
Yeah, I was thinking about I've been watching Fargo, the TV series.
Oh, what season are you on?
I'm on season 2 right now.
It's very good.
I'm on the last episode. It's
Oh, dude.
really good.
Really, really good.
Yeah, awesome adaptation, right? I've been having a couple problems with some of the things that they do in the story, and they get in a lot of Mexican standoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, two guys in a room,
Two
pointing guns at
guys
each
got
other.
guns.
Yep.
And yeah, it's like a stalemate, and like I feel like they never. There was a couple times where there was a resolution that didn't make sense to me.
Okay,
you know, and so it got me thinking about Mexican standoffs, and you know, like me personally in my life, you know, I get in some standoffs.
You doing a lot of gunslinging?
No,
in college there?
Down in New Paltz.
much lower stakes. I have a beagle, a little dog.
Oh, you getting some staring matches with
I've
them?
got a beagle and a deagle.
Yeah.
Don't fucking shit on my lawn.
Yeah, it's like, well, I want her to go into her like her crate when I leave, and like I could just grab her collar, but I'm supposed to be, you know, alpha dog, so she
Right.
should do it on command.
Right.
But she'll stare me down, and like if you flinch, she won't bite for it. And
Who wins that? Who wins that standoff?
Oh, you can't lose a standoff with your dog. You gotta hold your ground. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta pull the treats out. So I guess she wins, but either way, she's going.
Does she listen to this podcast?
She better not.
Okay. Yeah, you're free to talk about it. Anything you like then.
But yeah, I was thinking about Mexican standoffs. I looked them up. I found out the first instance that it was used in print that they could find evidence.
term,
Mexican standoff was when an American was mugged basically by a Mexican guy in like the 1870s, and they're like, it was a Mexican standoff, like and like to me, that's not really what a Mexican standoff is.
Yeah,
So,
that's not what that is.
It must have changed over time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you have these type of standoffs in real life?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I was just in Florida.
Oh, okay. Where you're standing your ground?
I was standing my ground all over that goddamn state.
Yeah.
Okay? Olivia pushed me. She looked at me the wrong way. I said, hey, watch it. Listen, I'll shoot you. And she's like, listen, check your skin tone. They might not believe you. But but I think like there are certain places where their Mexican standoffs happen quite a bit. And I want to say one that I encounter in my everyday life is at the bus stop.
Okay.
When everybody's waiting for the bus stop. This is one of the situations where order does not maintain itself because people will lose concentration waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
People arrive at the bus stop at a certain interval, right? I might get there before Tim, and then you might show up, Chris.
Okay.
But then we're all chilling at the bus stop. Chris might be vaping it, chiefing on that vape loud.
Always, bro.
Louding out
Always.
loud in the clouds.
Loud in the clouds.
ABV, dude. I like vaping.
Tim might be spinning his deagle around. Shooting a couple rounds up in the air just for funsies.
Just in case, dude.
And
Stand
then
his ground.
But then when the bus comes up, I might be picking my nose over by, in the background so nobody sees me. I have a sinus problem. And then the
your
bus
fingers in it.
the bus pulls up, and all of a sudden, Chris is getting on the bus first. He's blowing vape smoke
In your
the bus
face.
in the bus driver's face, and he is a valued member of our society. And you need to be nice to him and look him in the eyes, Chris.
Okay.
And then Tim gets on, and he points the gun at the bus driver, and the bus driver pulls out his deagle. And then they say, watch it, buddy. And then they walk.
You said Deagle before, not Beagle. I thought you were saying Deagle like he had his dog and he was spinning it around.
Whatever.
Just taking it for a twirl.
Yeah, and then the bus driver pulls out his Bichon. And then he walks backwards into the back of the bus, and
They
everything's
squint
cool.
at each other.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's the thing, though. there's a difference between a Mexican standoff and a standoff. What do you think it is? If you had to guess.
Is it guns?
It's not guns.
Is it the backwards
what it is.
walking?
Is it what?
Is it the backwards walking
Is it-
where it's
is
like,
it-
hey, buddy, and then you
is it
walk?
the-
walk
Is it the
beep.
You're close, but it's actually...
is it the soundtrack? I can't whistle.
It's multiple parties threatening each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the thing that I found was you can't leave. In a normal standoff,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
two forces of equal strength.
Yeah, even if one person lowers their gun,
Yeah.
then or whatever the particular situation of the force is, you have multiple people pointing guns at each other. So lowering one person with their gun can't end it. So everybody is compelled to stay there.
Oh, you're
Gotcha.
trapped in it.
That's why Quentin Tarantino ends fucking like tons of his movies with him.
What's a good way to just wrap this all up in one quick gun shootout? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way that True Romance ends. It's the way that Pulp Fiction ends. It's the way that
Wait, Pulp Fiction ends that way?
yeah.
Inglorious
Yeah, because
Bastards
they both have
ends
the
that way.
guns.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just the two guys though, because she's got the guns
Yep.
on both of them.
Oh yeah.
They're guns.
Reservoir Dogs, of course.
Yes.
And if
Reservoir
one
Dogs.
person lowers the gun, it does not resolve the
it.
situation.
So yeah, it's not just equal force. You can't leave.
Yeah.
You're just, until an outside variable changes things.
Yep.
And that's me rolling up, picking my nose, and everyone's like, "Gross," and I was like, "Mind your fucking business, buddy."
I got
Buster.
I got a standoff. Maybe not a Mexican standoff, but a standoff of sorts. But it's a kind of a wholesome one.
Okay.
Getting off the elevator. At
Oh
the
no,
office.
no you,
Oh.
no
No,
you.
you first.
Yeah.
No, you
You
first.
first.
Oh, I couldn't.
No, you go
first.
first. You go first. And then the doors close and you're trapped.
And then you're trapped, and then you guys pull out your fucking guns.
Yeah.
I told you to fucking go.
It reminds me of South Park, that episode where all arguments, even the most mundane, always escalate into a standoff. And then because everyone has a gun, they all slowly... yeah, man.
I do like the
And I
concept.
pull out my gun.
And I pull out my gun. Yeah, right in jail, fucker.
Yeah, that's him, isn't he?
Yep.
All right.
What was I gonna say? I do like the concept of just being like, "Hey, watch it, Buster."
Chill.
Yeah. Whoop.
Yep.
Hey, boop, 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 boop. Yep. Hey, watch it.
Oh,
Oh.
we got
Visual.
standoff. We got-
Visual
It's
jokes.
very useful in a podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
fucking.
Everybody's got their
fucking
guns.
It-
Oh, what now?
oh shit.
Oh, turn the tables.
Chris just pointed the guns at himself, just so everyone knows. Yeah, no, I do like the idea of like slowly changing who you're aiming it at.
Yeah,
like,
right? What is
like,
the... Yeah.
yeah, I think that
effect.
I like being overly dramatic. A lot of the times,
Yeah, it's fun.
we're on the old homestead. Me and Olivia will sometimes engage in Mortal Kombat around the house. We have a hallway in our apartment because it's a duplex and it's been, it was a house, but it was chopped into many units. So we have one long hallway and then all the rooms come off of that. And oftentimes we will lock eyes at other ends of the hallway and then we begin to charge each other and then, attack and use various kung fu moves that we've learned over
Gotcha.
our years of training.
Gotcha.
But I believe if we had guns in the house,
Yeah.
That would escalate pretty quickly.
it would happen a lot. I'd be like, hey, watch it, buddy.
Oh.
That's like people want to give teachers guns. It's like,
Yeah, no.
Is he really that? Do you think that's a solution?
I know some teachers. They're not the most
Yeah, you don't...
stable people in the world.
No, dude, you've been divorced 4 times.
I think the most devastating point I ever heard about that was somebody said, so we want to prepare teachers to kill students. Because that's who the shooter usually is.
Yep.
Yeah. Nah.
I don't think that one's going to sell, fortunately.
What do you think is like the biggest standoff that you've had with an individual? Have you had like some serious confrontations?
I was at the bar when I used to work at a bar. Mm-hmm. That's happened to me before. It's like, hey, you gotta go. No.
Uh-oh. Cuckoo.
You gotta leave. No. Okay, and then it's normally it's like the impenetrable, the unstoppable force versus the wall thing. Like, gotta go.
I'm sorry, what
No.
was that metaphor you just said there? The unstoppable force versus the wall thing. Yes.
The wall thing. Perfect.
Immovable object.
Whatever it is,
Yeah,
I
it's a
went to
wall,
school for writing.
Yeah, seriously.
It comes through. And then normally it would just be like the bouncer's like, yeah, no, now you got to go. And they're
He's
like,
the outside force.
Yeah, he's the outside force.
He comes
and
in.
then the guy's like, all right,
It's
yeah,
a
I guess I go.
standoff. I once had a guy pull a knife on me, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was cleaning up the bar, the poorhouse one night.
Really, at the poorhouse?
Jesus Christ.
And there was late. It wasn't that late though. It was like a weekday, so we were closing up probably 11:45. And there were these firefighter dudes. These pretty big burly dudes. Probably 4 of them that were hanging out and drinking. And I wanted them to go, but like I was like they were drinking, so it was fine. And this guy comes in off the street who had been begging for money. And he like starts asking them as I'm sweeping. I'm like, hey man, you can't do that in here. You got to go. And he's like, all right. And he like goes to leave. And then one of the firefighters is like, yeah, you better go. And he turns around. He like insulted him. He turns around. The guy pulls a knife, and we all just kind of like look at him. He's like, yeah.
Bye.
And then he went, bye. Yeah, exactly. It was
Pulls out his samurai.
Just want to let you know that I had this the entire time. Forgive me, Master. Just this one time I have to go all out.
Pulls out that Highlander sword.
nothing personal.
Assembles it. I think mine was encountering somebody going the wrong way in a roundabout.
Oh, that's
that'll do
happened
it.
too many times to me, and nothing gets me more physically angry than seeing
boy.
I could talk
boy.
about roundabouts for an hour.
Oh, actually, so they're
Like on a podcast where you argue about the
this
mundane.
is a very
It's a good
similar,
topic.
a very similar situation that happened to me once. Me and a friend of mine were driving in his car, and he was driving, and we there's a light, and the light is green, so we're going, and the guy coming the other way decides to left turn in front of us,
Yes.
right as we make it to the light.
No, you can't do that.
But not only does he do that, but he slams on his brakes and stops the car, blocking the lane. And my friend
careful.
is like,
It's a raid!
My friend screams out the window and starts giving him the finger, and the guy looks at him like, "What the fuck? Like, yeah, how dare you?" And then he gets out of the car, but he's blocking our lane, and he's like waving his arms, like, "What the?
I'm trying to remedy this situation.
Like, but you took a left turn in front of us, and you were literally
now
stopped sideways in the middle of the road."
It's too deep in. Your
Dude,
pride gets you.
Like, it's not even like in the roundabout situation, you look at the other person and you realize they don't know they're in the wrong.
Yeah.
But how do you...
And it makes me even more angry when I
How
see
do you
that.
take a left turn
Don't
and
you
stop
look at me with
sideways?
those puppy dog eyes, you motherfucker.
How do you stop
You're driving
sideways?
a car, don't get into a situation you can't handle.
You block
Stay
the
out of
road.
the fucking roundabout.
And then you not realize that
Yeah.
it is your fault.
Fucking Olivia had somebody pull over the car in front of her, like gang style, and like get out to like fight her, I guess. And then
Okay.
then they noticed that it was like a tiny blonde woman in a compact car.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? We're good here.
I learned something today. Yeah.
I think one of my biggest confrontations I've ever had was that one time at the post office when I gave an old man the finger.
Oh, nice.
There was an old man abusing his what appeared to be mentally handicapped daughter, adult daughter, at the post office, just laying into her and screaming at her, like swearing at her in public in front of everybody at the post office, and then which was enough to already piss me off. And I've gotten a little bit more ornery in my old age, and so I was already
power's
pissed
just
off.
coming out in you.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little fucking, about to start a fucking riot, bro. But anyway,
Got butt hair. I'm a man.
exactly, dude. And my grundle is so smooth though right now. But basically, like as I was walking out, he gave me like the fucking like, oh, can you fucking believe this? And like asking me to co-sign his bullshit, and I just looked at him and I go, hey, buddy. Cheer up. Oh no, hey asshole, cheer up. And he fucking exploded. And then he tried to fight me, and I gave him the finger while walking away slowly, like a Mexican standoff.
That's a good Mexican sound. Just a bunch of people giving each other the finger.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
slowly
hey,
moving back and forth.
Hey,
you fucking, hey, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I think that the idea of conflict is always funny to me. When I don't mean to keep going on about Florida, but I was in Florida this week, and being a New Yorker, being a Yankee in general in Florida,
Oh,
is like
you're a comic book character.
it's like a goddamn superpower down there. I can be rude if I want to.
Oh, they don't. Those always just from New York.
No, but no, they're afraid of it. They don't know how to deal. I mean, they could shoot me, I guess, but like they literally like I remember we were dealing with somebody. I was like, okay, well, they said something to me like, well, you just can't do that. And I was like, yeah, okay, and they're like, sir. I was like, you know what? Bless your heart. I didn't say that part, but I was hoping to. But yeah, no, being a little rude can actually really do stuff in this world. You
Get
know?
you places.
It gets you places.
Just lean into it. Most people are really passive.
Yeah.
So if you're really like, no, actually, it's like this.
As
they'll
long
be
as you're
like,
not an
"Oh, I guess
asshole and
it
you're
is."
taking something that you shouldn't be doing, you know.
Well, also, don't do it at a bar.
No, mind your. I mean, I'm not saying be a mean person. I'm saying like, you know, the fuck is gonna happen? You know what I mean? You can you can give the old guy the finger. You know, and he tries to fight you. He's got bird bones. You could break every bone in his body.
Just remember, if you do get yourself in a bad situation through this, where like somebody suddenly becomes a violent threat to you,
get out of there.
the secret is just to say like, I'm sorry, I really got to take a shit right now, because that will throw them, and nobody will want to deal with you, and you might have to take a shit.
But unless that person's into it and they're like, yeah, you do.
Shit on my chest, bro.
And then they start beating you up and like they're hitting you and they're like, why haven't you pooped yet?
This is a movie,
I won't stop hitting till you shit.
he's a movie
fucking
writing
liar.
itself right now.
And I can't come till you shit.
Mexican standoff,
That's
dude.
what it is. Until an outside force comes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
No ejaculate till poop. The Mexican standoff.
What?
EiK special.
Yeah, so listen, all I gotta say is you pull a gun on me, I'm pulling a gun on you.
Yep.
Pull a sword on me, I'm pulling the energy sword on you.
Yep.
Okay? Lightsaber,
With the
baby.
guns, though, this is why back to being Fargo. Why wouldn't you just shoot the person? Like, what do you have to gain by just pointing the gun at them?
Because nobody wants to do it. They just want to.
Yeah.
They
They're just
wanna-
waving their dicks around, bro.
They want to
Yeah,
intimidate.
just
They want to
waving
use
the dicks.
It's a war of psychic energy. That's what it is. It comes down to you have to. It's three psyches coming together in the psychosphere with Russ Cole.
Yep.
And I just think that it's a beautiful set piece. I don't know how often it actually happens.
I don't know. You're probably right, though, because most people, you're just making noise. Exactly.
Whoa, hey.
But I think that in movies and stuff, or even like in real life with like police shootouts, it's not like they're just hoping the gunman doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
At all. They want to the police on the side of the many gunned police. They're hoping that the gunman doesn't shoot. The gunman's probably not thinking that he's not going to get shot if he shoots somebody.
Yeah.
It's just that it's like North Korea. Not to get too political. The reason why they're so batshit crazy is because if they're not, we're going to fucking eradicate them. Because that's what, or at least Kim Jong-il, because that's what happened to a lot of dictators around the world. So if they don't wave, if you don't wave your dick around a little bit,
No one's going to see it.
so no one's going to see it. People are going to take your bananas away from you.
It defeats
And
the
if you
purpose.
give your dick away like Gaddafi did,
Yeah.
it's the end of you.
You're right, though. It is a very dramatic set piece. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like it'd be really fun, like a video game mechanic.
Like like if you point a gun at somebody, you
Pull your dick out.
No, like a Mexican standoff.
Actually, in Red Dead, you can do that.
Really? You
Yeah.
just whip it out.
Pull your dick out.
You can pull your dick out, and then the other guy will pull his dick out, and then you guys have sex. It's a really woke game for the time period.
Wow, damn.
No, but like if you point a gun at somebody, they're like, "Hey, Mister, stop it!" And you're like,
Don't you do that.
You're like, "I'm gonna shoot you," and it doesn't matter to me if you shoot me because I'm a video game character. So fuck you.
That I have been watching. I haven't played the new one, the Red Dead, but I've been watching videos. I feel like you're too durable. You just get like,
Oh, you get
shot.
murked pretty easy.
Oh no,
Yeah?
you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone can lay you out pretty good in that game. If
Yeah.
they do like a 360 no scope on you.
Yeah.
Like they vape and get some gamer fuel. And like
Blood tip your dick right off.
You know what I was thinking? I really
Say
like
goodbye to your foreskin.
I really like the plane dynamic in GTA. Why can't they have a plane in Red Dead?
Because it's okay.
Make it out of a horse. Horse.
Topic number 3.
All right. Well,
It's called a Pegasus, by the way.
no, I'm saying stretch the horse into a fighter jet. I want a fighter jet that has the skin.
Topic number.
Topic number 3. I'm topic number 3 today.
Yes, you are.
And my topic is horse fighter jets. I'm not letting this go. No, I do really want to fly a horse around. That'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, my topic this week.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot about celebrities on
do.
this show.
We
We've
do.
talked about some celebrities today. And
Yep.
I think one of the reasons why you listen to podcasts with celebrities as guests, you want to know a little bit more about them personally.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only so much an audio medium like podcasting can give you. That is one sense that you're getting,
Yep.
right? Oral,
Auditory.
audio.
Immune.
What?
Autoimmune.
Okay, Cool.
Yeah.
Audio, right? But there's visual. You see him on TV. There's scent. And there's
Taste.
taste.
Are you gonna eat some
There's more than
celebrities?
that, actually.
There's proprioception. There's thermoception.
Are we gonna eat celebrities? Are we gonna eat celebrities?
No. I want to know.
Who do you think's the tastiest?
That's a different topic for a different day that
Close,
I'm not
though.
prepared. My question is,
James Gandolfini.
what do you think?
Probably not salty.
What do you think celebrities' breath smells like? Who has the stinky, stinky breath? Who has
Gary
the
Busey.
freshest breath? Okay, yeah.
Well, that was a quick topic.
Okay, done. Show over.
Both Gary Busey.
Okay. Gary Busey's breath. What does it smell like?
Cabbage.
Yeah, like
And-
fermented greens.
Yeah, some type of greens and liquor.
Are Gary Busey's teeth real?
Nope.
No.
Okay, that's a plus.
Yeah, it might be helping him out.
Because if his teeth aren't real, there's no teeth to be rotting inside his head.
Okay.
So you're saying cabbage.
Cabbage.
What gives you the sense that his breath would smell like cabbage? Does he
Because-
look like a
It looks
cabbage eater?
cabbage.
Yeah, because he looks like his idea of a snack is taking a bite out of a fucking head of lettuce and then screaming about it for some reason. And then washing it down with a shot of bourbon.
You know what? And then snorting cocaine off his dog, which is something that he did.
Off his dog?
He talked about on Celebrity Rehab. If you guys have not watched the Celebrity Rehab with Gary Busey and you're a Gary Busey fan, you're fucking.
I don't think anybody's a Gary Busey fan. He's a fascination, if
you're
nothing else.
fascinated with a Gary Busey,
Yeah.
you need to watch the Celebrity Rehab with him because it's fucking amazing. Yeah, he said that he had several bundles of cocaine that he had bought and he dropped them on his dog and then he snorted it off his dog because he didn't want to waste the cocaine. And he said he was snorting fleas, which makes me sad because his dog shouldn't be in that situation.
Yeah, it shouldn't have
It's gotta
fleas.
irritate the dog's skin. You know?
Absolutely.
Can't be good for a
Those
dog.
fleas were fucked up, though.
Fleas wrote 10 screenplays. All right, so
That's how Waterworld was written.
So we've established that Gary Busey's breath smells like a cabbage. Mm-hmm. What does Danny DeVito's breath smell like?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yes.
Eggs.
Caramelized onions.
Eggs and rye bread.
Caramelized onions.
Yeah.
Rye
So-
bread.
What gives you? Do you believe that Danny
Like
DeVito?
a diner.
Yeah, he's eating. He's got a whole diner in his
I think
mouth.
we just described the smell of the streets in New York, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you get a waft from the subway and it smells just like a piss. All right. Who do you give me a celebrity whose breath you think smells good?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I think
Yeah.
his
What
breath
does
smells
Chris-
like apple pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah.
He smells like America all the way around.
What's his name? The dude that's in fucking Parks and Rec.
Chris Pratt.
That's Chris Pratt.
No, the other one.
Ron Swanson?
No, the guy that's like kind of a character. He's like going to live to 120.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
The fuck's his name?
He's got a child sex tape. Rob Lowe. Yeah,
Rob
he
Lowe.
fucked a 16-year-old on camera. 2 16-year-olds, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
When he was a child?
Nope.
Or- No.
Nope.
No, that's too bad.
When he was a fully grown
I
man.
think his breath smells like 16-year-olds based on the
Oh, there
description.
you go.
Next topic.
Lollipops.
All right. So we got Rob Lowe. His breath smells like cancellation.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's stay on Parks
On
and Rec.
brand?
Yeah. What does Rashida Jones's breath smell like?
Who dat?
Rashida Jones is Anne on
chai
Parks and-
tea.
Chai tea.
Yeah.
Maybe a coffee in the early morning, but like a good coffee, like not the kind that makes your breath smell like a dad's breath.
A chai latte.
Yeah, like a chai. Oh, there we go.
they're so
Very
tasty.
cultured. Everyone I culture. All right. Who do you think has the best breath in Hollywood? Wait, first, before you say that, what does Tom Cruise's breath smell like?
It smells like Astroglide.
Oh no.
Oh.
I think that Tom Cruise's breath has no smell at all.
Because
I
he's
think
a robot.
He's gone clear. And when you're clear, you're completely neutral. You're at unity with the universe.
He doesn't need that.
Tom Cruise's breath smells like the inside of your nose.
What does John Travolta's breath smell like?
John Travolta's breath smells like
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about it. Is Travolta a clean man or a dirty man?
No, he probably tastes like like pool boy semen. Like, that is his thing. Is that
He smells like a boy.
We're
'cause
canceled now.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's walk it back. I think the John Travolta looks better without the hair. What do you think?
better without hair?
Yeah, he's always been bald.
There's nothing redeeming about John Travolta.
I like John Travolta.
Nothing revolting about
Nothing redeeming.
Redeeming. Oh.
Lots revolting.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow. That's
He likes getting on planes and kissing boys.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing
He
he
likes
likes.
killing his kids by not giving him medical treatment.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, is he an anti-vax?
We're deep in the
guy?
cancellation here, guys.
Scientologists are.
All Scientologists are anti-vax.
I think so, yeah.
Vax or it's against some kind
And
of,
mental
or
health.
It's
Yeah,
against,
it's mental health
No,
stuff mainly.
it's against it's against mental health,
Well,
which
I think
includes
he-
mental health medication, which his autistic son needed because of his heart condition.
So I think that he actually left Scientology because one of his kids died.
Yeah.
I
He
think
didn't
that's.
He did
I'm pretty
leave.
sure he did.
No, he's out.
He's
Is he
gone.
out?
He's out,
He's
yeah.
out. He got out of there.
Tom Cruise or Travolta, you're welcome on this cast anytime. Cruise, you leave. You leave. You jump out.
I think Cruz is out of that boy too.
No, he's not, dude. They've got pictures of
How do
him.
you guys keep track of this?
We have an app for it.
Yeah.
It's called it's
the
really
consciousness.
yeah, it's called
Everyone's consciousness.
clear.io, and it basically is just a binary app. It says in, out, Travolta, out, Cruise,
What?
deep in.
What about?
By the way, good website idea. Are they a Scientologist.com?
Are they a
Probably.
Scientologist.com? Will
That's got
Smith,
it.
yes.
Yes.
Will Smith is a Scientologist.
The dude
No,
from
What
that
about Will
70s.
Smith's breath?
Will Smith's breath smells like
Patchouli.
yeah.
Well, that's a good
I feel like he would have a pretty pleasant smell. Like I feel like he's
Just
pretty
all over. He
relaxed.
Probably just smells all right.
Yeah, I mean he could come hang out. He's the only Scientologist I would hang out with.
What do you think Donald Trump's
The
breath
blue
smells
face
like?
is unforgivable.
Fried chicken and hamburgers and hate.
I think that his breath smells like sulfur and brimstone because his mouth is a
No, that's
maw to
Hillary.
hell. Oh,
I
right,
think his
right.
breath
Oh my
smells
God,
like
yes, that
cigarettes,
is.
even though he doesn't smoke.
Yeah,
He does a lot of secondhand smoking.
smells like fucking naphthalene. He smells like mothballs. The worst smell on the planet.
Yep.
He eats mothballs. He thinks they're mints.
Nobody's told him yet.
Smells like hamburgers.
Birders. I mean, I think that your breath is like such a very
Does Alex Jones' breath smell like?
Supplements.
Supplements.
Man
Like,
supplements.
dude.
Smarties.
yeah.
Smarties.
I don't know why. I just imagine him just eating
Yeah.
by the pawful.
Yeah.
This is alpha brain.
Whatever liver
vitality.
whatever liver failure smells like.
Yeah, he probably does
Steroids.
fucking mellow yellow. He's fucking
He definitely just takes steroids and doesn't work out. He just gets fat from steroids.
That's 100% accurate.
man. There's a lot of calories in these anabolic steroids. I gotta slow
One
it
of
down.
my favorite lesser known Alex Jones clips is somebody says, somebody's like, yeah, I've been taking the Super Male Vitality. He's like, oh, really? This is completely unscripted, folks. He's just telling me how great Super Male Vitality is. Completely unscripted. Didn't see this coming.
When you have to say that, it probably means it is.
Also,
you know?
all the supplements he sells full of soy.
Yeah.
Soy boy. I remember like almost getting into a fight one time with a dude at a bar, and I don't remember if it was Eric or Hosey. He goes, "Fuck that dude. He looks like he got fat. Not like me because he drank way too much Monster."
Wow, that's class rivalry or warfare right there.
Picture that person in your head, folks.
What do you think Dennis Leary's breath smells like?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think that Dennis Leary's breath smells like Bill Hicks's breath?
I feel like
Dennis, it does not, but Dennis Leary wishes that it did.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Good one.
They do kind of look similar.
Yeah, it's
Bill Hicks would
like a-
beat
like a-
the dog shit out of Alex Jones
yeah.
with his bare hands.
It's like the Andy Kaufman thing. Like he's
Yeah.
just gonna reveal himself one of these days, just like how Andy Kaufman's Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Danny
except
Kaufman's Donald Trump.
He's gonna rip the mask off.
the long con.
It's a very long guy.
I don't think Andy Kaufman would do that to us. He's got too big of a heart. What do you think Jennifer Love Hewitt's breath smells like?
Flowers.
Of Natural Born Killers. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that her breath smells like Mountain Dew,
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like-
like cherry Coke.
cherry Coke. Like I feel like
Like
she,
really sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely sweet. And the reason why I say that is because I don't know if it's just because she always plays these characters or if she is actually like this, but she seems like a country girl. You know what I'm saying? Like she's always like in Natural Born Killers, like and all the other movies.
California spelled with a K.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of the same character.
You get to see your boober in that one.
Hell yeah, brother! What time? You got that time code for
Where's the
me?
stamp on that?
It's right in the beginning.
Okay, if you could pick
Brad Pitt.
what?
What does his breath smell like?
Oh, okay. I thought you were projecting there. You had anticipated my question was if you could settle down with a celebrity and kiss them so sweetly at night, who would it be?
You could do worse than Brad
What
Pitt.
does Tom
worse
Hardy's
than
breath smell like,
Oh,
Chris?
Tom Hardy's breath. What does it smell like? It smells like probably mints because he doesn't smoke anymore and he doesn't drink.
I don't know. I think ham sandwich for some reason.
Yeah.
Peppercorns.
There's something very like meat and potatoes about him.
Yeah. Earthy.
Yeah.
It's got a very UK face.
He's got a Brit face like an MF.
Yeah.
All right. So is this like, do you put your nose in their mouth or do you get like a canister?
Well, that was my next phase.
That's a good idea.
That's the phase 2.
Yeah.
Celebrity
So-
breath samples you
now-
can order online.
Right.
Right?
It's like in Spaceballs where they've got canned air.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be canned, condensed. Hannibal Buress. Smells like weed, I guess. I
Lettuce?
don't know. Lettuce? You think it smells like lettuce?
Lettuce.
Well, like the episode where
Gotta eat
he's
the lettuce,
He's
man.
got to eat the lettuce, man.
Okay, you gotta eat the lettuce.
I imagine
And
like
pretzels, because pretzels is the same.
Yeah.
like a gas mask apparatus. So like, you just like kind of plug it in and then your whole face gets to experience
No, thank you.
the S. No, you don't think so?
If you had to breathe a celebrity's breath for a year, who would it be?
Josh Homme.
Josh Homme. That would smell terrible.
Yeah, it smells like
It smells like
booze and
cigarettes and booze and like
beef ribs.
All the things Chris loves.
But that's the thing. Do you like your own breath?
No.
But you can't smell it. Well, maybe you can.
You lick your hand, you can
Yeah.
smell
It's
it.
bad enough you can.
Yeah, it's true.
You can smell mine on this pop filter.
What about Trent Reznor?
Trent Reznor's breath is something that
Smells like electronic.
yeah, he smells like
batteries.
Smells like ozone. yeah. Fucking every time he opens his mouth, a fucking electrical shock comes
Yeah.
on and he just vaporizes some ozone. Okay.
What about the Catch Me Outside? How about that girl?
It just smells like beef jerky. Come on. And it's
I was
not
thinking
good
like
beef
the, I
jerky.
was
It's
thinking
Slim Jims.
like the inside of a Spencer's.
Oh, yes.
Like that plasticky smell.
Yeah. Or like a Hot Topic or something.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto smells. Dude, he's so damaged. It's hard to even know, bro. Dude, like,
Depends on the day of the week, all right?
if he gets so deep into his roles, man, he actually blinded himself for Blade Runner, dude.
He was in the movie for 5 minutes. He did pretty good on the Super Bowl, though.
What did he do? You fucking asshole. Chris has been saying that Adam Levine is Jared Leto. Or also, wait, who else is it? Fucking, for some reason, Mbop keeps coming to mind.
No.
Taylor Hansen?
Yeah.
What
the
is
hands-
Taylor Hansen?
Yeah.
The guy
Collectively,
from
what does-
Drops. So I keep on saying Maroon 5 wrote Drops of Jupiter.
Yes, that's one train, yeah.
And Jared Leto is in Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the guys that did I Wanna Push You Around.
Well, I will.
Well, I
By the way, I was listening to the 90s station on Sirius XM, not a sponsor. And did you know, like, those guys came out just like 2 years after Kurt Cobain died?
Really?
Who?
Matchbox 20.
That's
how fast shit went downhill when Kurt Cobain was dead.
Everyone's like, no more rock.
That was 1996.
You liked yourself some Matchbox 20, Andy.
That was Ryan and Colin. They were big 20 heads. Matchbox 20 was all right. I mean, for the time. Listen, I was fucking 11, bro.
Worse.
I was grieving. Kurt Cobain had died. It was very
Here's what I want
important to me.
Next episode, I want to be reading an Old Man Minute where he explains why he let you listen to that shit.
Because it's on K-Rock, dude.
Unacceptable.
Exactly.
How could he like expose you guys to Warren Zevon and then allow you to listen to that?
Every generation has terrible music. You
Yeah.
can't you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, but that's bottom tier. That's a guy that literally ruined Santana's career in 5 minutes.
What
How
song did
you
Santana
mean
play?
Smooth by Santana?
You mean Smooth? Several Grammy nominated Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20.
I think not.
I think not, sir.
I think you protest too much.
Rob Thomas's breath.
Rob Thomas's breath smells fucking smooth.
Like the single he put out with Santana.
It smells just like the ocean under the moon. Which, if you're wondering, is same as the emotion that I get from you. And he's got that kind of makes it so smooth. Give me your heart, make it real, or you know.
Just forget about it.
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri's.
It smells like a dumpster. It just smells like an actual dumpster.
No,
Smell like
Guy
donkey
Chicken
sauce.
breading.
Yeah.
Just the breading.
Yeah, just
Just the breading.
Yeah, just the
Guy
breading.
Fieri eats handfuls of Bisquick, then he eats a raw egg, and then he eats a raw chicken thing. He does a little dance, he coughs it up. Perfectly breaded fried chicken comes right out of his mouth. How do you feel about that? Just wondering. He also drinks hot oil.
he's a robot. He functions on oil alone.
Oh, dude, the Fieri bought 5,000.
If Guy Fieri spat a perfect chicken sandwich out of his mouth, I would eat it. All right, that's all I'm trying to say.
You know
It's
what?
just because he ate it whole.
Oh, yeah, but he's clearly there's some other process happening here.
Do you think if he opens the back of that convertible, it's just a vomitorium, like a mobile vomitorium?
Yeah, it's like an RV, or like an airplane toilet. It's like suction pulls it down.
Different
So the
screw
car
on
runs
tips
on?
for fucking his hair though.
Yes.
because he's a robot.
Well, maybe he's
All
like
the attachments are in the back.
Yeah.
what was that show? Zoids. You remember that shit with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
different armors and gave the fucking Liger different abilities? Okay, he's got fucking different tips, and it allows him to have fucking flame resistance and fucking like blue, like lactose
Flavor amplifiers.
Yeah, exactly.
Diabetes blockers.
He like takes one off and like sprinkles it into whatever he's making.
R. Kelly's breath, urine. I think that's easy.
I don't think he's drinking the piss.
Oh, no.
To be honest, I think
I think he is. I think it's all projection.
I think R. Kelly's breath smells like blood because I hope he dies. I'm saying that
you
on the
see the,
podcast. Me, Andrew Powers, I will sign an affidavit that
Did
if
you
I
the
see R.
video
Kelly, it's on
of
site.
him in Africa singing.
Yeah, he
a
wanted
song?
to fucking. He's like, let me abduct you. Let me
Yeah.
take you to the States and abduct you.
Are
Let
you-
me take
do,
you.
Do you have your shots? Do you have your passport? Do you want to come to America? It was disgusting.
What did he do? He was singing to a crowd, or
Yeah, it's like during a concert, like in Africa, he was singing, like asking people in a song, "Do you have your passport? Do you have your shots done? Do you want to come to America with me?"
wow.
Yeah.
Under different circumstances,
to
a very
pee on
generous
you.
offer. Drip, drip, drip. Ah, the ultimate.
I'm a pee on you.
adaptation. Yeah.
I want to piss you around. Well, I will. Well, I will.
All right, who's worse, Matchbox 20 or Creed?
Creed.
Creed.
Yeah.
Get away, Scott
All right,
Stapp.
Scott Stapp.
Next on
Scott
Scott
Stapp.
Stapp.
Bad beer. And not like low quality, but I still drink it beer, but like beer that's just gross.
Bush Light.
Someone
Yeah.
shotgunned a Coors Light and most of it got on the ground.
Yeah. It's just the ground part.
Well, no,
That's what it smells like.
It's
a
cleaning-
Coors
it's-
Light poured on the pavement.
Yeah, it's cleaning up the bar after like some kind of pub crawl that's
That
been
rag,
going on.
That bar
Yeah.
rag. That's what it smells like.
Do you think Scott Stapp can legally buy alcohol in the United States? Or you think he's old enough, right? Scott Stapp.
Yeah, I don't know the bit. I don't follow.
I think he's a baby boy.
Why do you think he's a baby boy?
Because he's a fucking Christian rocker, man.
Oh, he drinks lots of beer.
I know that.
He has like canceled shows. He'll show up on stage just fucking right, or he used to.
really,
Mike
Yeah.
Pence.
Mike Pence.
Dicks.
Mike
No.
Pence smells like Bengay.
Smells like
Bengay.
mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Smells
this guy
like
rubbed
whatever
down.
he was allowed to eat that
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Mike Pence is that like
And there's a lot, so it's hard to
Yeah.
parse.
Yeah. Where do I
so
start?
Mike
When he
Pence,
disassociated
for those
on
not
television,
in the
that
know,
was
he has
great.
to get approval from his wife, who he
to
calls
have-
mother, to do anything. He's not allowed to have like meetings with women by himself.
Well, I thought that was just because he was a sexist.
Yeah, he's not allowed to go places where there are alcohol by himself. So one of two things is true: either Mike Pence is the biggest bitch in the world, which is funny, or Mike Pence is such a fucking maniac. that
can't contain
be
himself.
trusted.
He's like
he
extra
needs
controls.
somebody to like stop him because he'll lose it. He'll go totally over the top, and that one is somehow better.
Hold me back, mother. Hold me back.
We're about to get Liddy up in here.
The one meeting they had on television with Pelosi and Schumer, where Pence was just sitting between them, not saying a word, completely disassociating from reality.
He was charging.
He's just like looking back and forth at the two of them. Like he's gonna say it, no, doesn't say anything. Just fucking sits there.
Yeah, that whole exchange between Pelosi, Trump, and I just feel like Mike Pence on the inside is rotting because he's a rotten human being, but on the outside, his skin body, I think it's very polished and it smells like something sweet, like formaldehyde.
What do lizards eat? 'Cause that's
Lizards eat
Flies.
bugs.
Yeah.
under that
bugs.
skin suit.
Oh, he's a lizard person if I've ever seen one. Although he's not a well-respected lizard person. He doesn't get into the most.
Low
he doesn't
tier.
Yeah, he's a low T and low tier lizard person.
He's the only
Beta
lizard
male.
person that would be friends with Donald Trump.
Low T beta male.
God, just wait till he's our president, guys.
Hey man, he's alpha.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if
dude.
you know this, but the most alpha thing in the world is do nothing but whine about how nobody's fair to you.
Yep.
I mean SNL. You know they're gonna be under wraps. We're getting very political.
Did you see
Yeah.
that Onion headline?
Yeah. No, I didn't see the onion.
It was
Oh yeah. Trump consoles.
Consoles Nation after another divisive SNL episode.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That's not too far from the truth.
All right. Let's get happy.
Let's get happy here, boys.
If you had to eat someone's food like Baby Bird style, which person would it be?
What type of food? That is a big part of it.
You get to choose the food. The person chews it up, spits it in your mouth. Tell me the food. Tell me the man or woman.
Christina Hendricks.
Christina Hendricks of the Perfect Pitch franchise. Right?
What?
Who's Christina Hendricks?
Oh my god. Jesus.
I think that's her fucking name, right?
Mad Men?
Yeah. No,
No.
different person than I'm thinking of.
I want Natalie,
But yeah, okay.
Natalie Portman to like dangle a strand of spaghetti in my mouth, and then I can just
See,
slurp
see,
it out.
there you go. That's pretty. That's pretty.
That's a good one.
Now, when it gets to you, you'll realize there will be no sauce on it.
There's no just this, that's
Just
I'm
just
okay with
spit,
it.
spit for sauce.
It's not really about
She
the
withholds
sauce.
the sauce from you. If you're not gonna, if she's not gonna baby bird it, chew it up as a mush.
Yeah,
You just get the raw noodle with Natalie Portman's spittle upon it.
you got the goddamn deal. Yeah,
What about you, Chris?
I don't know.
I want Jack Nicholson
Yeah.
to do it to me, and I'll tell you why. I
See
want
if you can survive that.
maybe you can survive anything.
Tiger blood.
No, I want to be inoculated
to everything.
No, with his juice. I want his essence, and then I can be a
Betty White.
Betty White. Careful on that because she might take your body.
Betty White's breath smells like.
Betty White's breath smells just fine. Mind your fucking business, okay?
Febreze.
She's just fucking like old school breath spray.
The
like,
Queen.
Yeah.
the Queen of England.
Febreze
Queen.
and schnapps.
The Queen.
You want her to spit
Yes.
it into your mouth?
Yep.
Why?
Then I'm king.
That is British law.
Yeah,
As is tradition.
it's a real throwback, but it's in the books.
Yeah,
guys.
I want.
Yeah.
I want the Queen to eat the remains of Margaret Thatcher and spit her into your mouth.
I want Dwayne the Rock Johnson to spit a hard-boiled egg whole into my mouth.
Yeah.
Pop it out.
Get some.
In the middle of a workout. Protein.
He's your fucking personal trainer. It's like, come on, we gotta make some games. Come on. Open it up.
You don't see him put the eggs in. He's got like 5 in there. He's like, you need another. Boom, boom. Where's it coming from? Get hit that.
got
Will
pouch
It's like a
Dude.
Gatling gun.
Honestly,
And then when they all come out, he's just deflated.
It's like a tennis ball shooter.
honestly, like trademark. Let's make a game. I just want a game of
He squeezed the Rock Johnson doll and just shoots an egg.
Like
out.
No, I'm
old
thinking
school,
like a
like,
VR
Newgrounds
experience,
game.
like fucking combo, and you fucking shoot an ostrich egg.
Oh man,
All right, folks, if you're still listening,
we appreciate you. Thanks for listening.
and if your breath, what's your breath smell like right now?
Yeah, tweet at
Do
us.
it. Tweet
Let
at
know.
us.
Tweet at us things to review.
Yes, tweet us things to review.
I'm not reviewing your breath.
Nope, not gonna do it. Send us a bucket of your breath. But if you're listening, thanks for listening. Tim, thanks for being on. Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, just no plugs. Love each other.
Yep. And if you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/everyone I know. Be on the lookout for Everyone is a Critic and Everyone I Crit. crit this week. Everyone's a critic. Possibly next week. We'll see what happens.
We will see.
And, if you're listening, thanks, and be nice to each other.
Be nice. And remember, you may have bad breath, but you won't have worse breath than most celebrities.
I doubt that.